zone, good morning, good evening, whatever it is. Hi, Magic. Welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Yeah. I'm carrying on with the Ogryn today. We still got all of his lower half to do. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get my brain into gear and actually get this started. Hi, Andy, welcome in. Hi, Mango, good to see you all. That's gone really dark. Why is my camera gone dark? Let's get some brightness up on there so you all can see what's going on the screen. Right, okay. Trying to get my painting brain in gear. I have not been in a painting frame of mind, so it might take me a couple of minutes to get up to speed. Like, you wanna hunt match? No worries, Indy. Good luck. Hope it goes well. I'm a little bit groggy. It's because I've only had about what is it? About 6 hours sleep. My own fault. But I'm not fully awake yet this morning. That's fine though, because painting was great. And the smooth jazz is back because I actually really love this play. It's a playlist, I guess. And I hope everyone's had a good week. Happy weekend. There we go. That's a lot better. You all can see that. So I don't know how much we'll get done today, but we might finish it possibly if we work quickly. Or there'll probably be one more kind of details and highlights kind of thing to go on this one. It depends how today goes and how much we cover. Which, considering this is our third part, I think. Call it 2 to 3 hours per part. That's pretty quick going for a model of this size. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Okay. But getting a little bit ahead with that. Because I think we all know at this point that details are probably the longest section of any model. I'm actually using screenshots from the game to help me with this one today, because the promotional art doesn't actually show anything below the waist for the Ogryn. So screenshots from the game on some of the basic cosmetics and some of the ones that you can unlock from achievements and things like that. I'm not using any of the special premium cosmetics. This is just stuff from the raw in-game situation that you find yourself in, to try and sort of keep it accurate, I guess. Really pop that in the corner, shouldn't I? While I'm doing these streams. There you go. Just, gotta properly represent games when they take a bit of a leap of faith on smaller creators. Or less well-established creators, or however you like to phrase it. Non-partners. The only reason I've not been playing more Darktide recently is because I kind of burnt myself out on it a bit. I put so much time into that game already. Morning, Vess. How's it going? How's the Mythics? So I know you said you were reading today. Doing a quick tidy up on the main crotch plate, I guess. Let's face it, there's no other word for that. So even though this is base coated, I'm, tidying it up and all that jazz. Doing great. Fair enough. Yeah, from upgrade. Nice. Congratulations. I realise that is the main thing that's holding me back. My weapons desperately need an upgrade. How did I sleep? Really well, actually, thank you. First time in a long time I've slept that well, so it's good. Definitely good. Just not long enough, as always. But that's fine. That's what weekends are for. Because even though, yeah, it is the weekend on the calendar, for me, this is kind of a semi-working day. Yeah, it's the housework, the day-to-day adult work that kind of doesn't get done while I'm at my day job. Lots of that sort of stuff goes on. So it's kind of not really weekend material for me. But Monday and Tuesday are kind of my weekend due to my slightly odd working schedule. So it's not day job work, but it's still work nonetheless. But soon it is my weekend. When I get to do all the things that I actually want to do. We are hopefully going to get all of the lower half done today. That's the objective, I guess, for this one. Sort of his trousers, belt, buckles, boots, all that kind of stuff. Which means we'd have one more stream left with this guy to do detailing. That'll be all of the highlights, all of the weathering, any sort of additional layers, tidying up any bits, all that sort of like minutia that you don't. It's not essential. You know, it's not essential to do highlights. It's not essential to do any of it. But when you do it, it looks good, and it makes the overall model look good. It'll be something that I do on this one. Because as I mentioned before when I've been working on it, I really want this one to come out well. So, yeah. It's kind of more of the same with just trying to tidy up as much as I can as I go. But there will be a lot of going back, checking different stuff. officially, apparently this is actually a golden belt buckle for a boy. A big lad. Yeah, because I'm trying to avoid making anything flat colour. I'm going to add a little bit of my own flair to it. It's still going to be gold. It's just not going to be a flat single colour gold. Because no one wants to see flat coloured anything. Just trying to remix some of my metallics, because metallics like to separate more than any other colour. Okay, more shaking. I had to give up my mixing sticks because they were just too saturated with other colours. And it's starting to get to the point where it was at risk of transferring colour across. Now I'm back to just boring old shaking. It's this one. This is why you see a lot of hobbyists with like little desktop vortex mixers. This would do it in, a second or two. But I don't have the cash for that kind of an upgrade yet. So arm power it is. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Which is thankfully a bit more mixed because it's a bit less viscous. So the reason I put that sort of pale color, pale brassy almost color underneath, runal brass for anyone wondering, because that kind of neutralizes the more orangey tones in this color, which is Skullcrush brass, which kind of just gives it a nice bit of a softer look, a bit of a less harsh look. In the context of what we're painting here. I like it. It was a little suggestion that I picked up from someone's. I can't remember who the guide was by that now, but from a guide that I saw about painting golds, because metallics are the bane of my life. So I always look for ways to make it easier on me. And that was one that was suggested. It's not possibly not very noticeable on camera, but it's noticeable when you look at it in person. There's just a nice subtle difference between all the different parts. This is where I'm going a little bit off of the official guidance, maybe. So I'm painting in this belt in green, and that is purely because there's not a lot of variety in the color palette, and I want to make sure that it's not just a boring sea of grey and black and brown. Because yeah, we got the red shirt, but you know, there's a joke about red shirts and not lasting long. And the least I can do is give him a snazzy green belt. So it won't be hugely obvious, but it will just be a nice little splash of colour where it does pop up. Trying to make an effort to not paint over the holes punched in his belt. It's a little bit easier to go back and paint over them, but I don't think it's working too well. Belt, I think, because you can't see the belt on any of the other sections. Oh, there's like a tiny bit above the sound plate. Bearing in mind everything we've done so far, I think about 90% of it has been the first initial pass layer. So not the final result by any means. Even when we're done today, it won't be the final result. The details can and will change probably quite drastically over the course of the next 2 streams. And that's just from, the nature of painting. You start with a basic layer like this and work your way up. Until you're putting on 2-3 millimeter, dots of paint to make it look good. Actually, looking at the area that I've got to cover, I'm going to switch brush again. Back to a little bit of a wider brush. So if nothing else, this has given me an opportunity to use some of my bigger brushes that I don't often use because, mini painting and big brushes doesn't really go hand in hand. Let's reinforce your hatred of hellhounds. Oh no, Randy. Did you manage to extract that? Crack your head on my camera, please. Let me paint your boots. Your literal steel toe boots. I'll kill 3 of them. I'll survive 3 hits and down me. Aw, that sucks. I'm sorry, Andy. But it sounds like you're definitely getting better. You're definitely improving. At least you got 3 of the 4. That's pretty awesome. I'm sorry. There's always one thing like that in games that just kind of gets under your skin, doesn't it? And same again on the other side. I'm going to use leg armor first this time. we got planned for next week? What's everyone's plan for next week? Hopefully you've all got something to look forward to. Whether it's just a lazy weekend with games, or something a bit more exciting than usual. I don't know. I'm hoping next week's a little bit calmer for me. I'm looking forward to a slightly calmer work week. Hopefully hearing back about some job applications that I put in. I'm not expecting anything out of them, if I'm honest. They are very optimistic. It's a lot of what's the phrase? Shooting my shot, I guess. So I'm expecting rejections. If I get anything other than an outright rejection, I think I will have done well. Even if it's just, thank you for your time. Not this time, but try again later for a different job. That'd be cool. Yeah, got some of that going on. Looking forward to kind of getting a bit more normal with my work rate. Rather than being at breakneck speed all the time. Kill to death ratios can improve. Up from 0.24 to 0.36. Nice. Very nice. That is awesome. Indeed. Congratulations. Like I said, I hope everyone is looking forward to something next week. I know February isn't exactly, a hotbed of exciting times for most people. I'm planning some fun stuff for the end of the month. I'm probably going to do like a long stream. On or around my birthday, I'm not sure when. Need to wait and see what my work schedule's like. So that will probably be something different, or something that I've not played a lot of. I might do another Lego stream. I might do something else. I might combine it. We'll see. But yeah, more details on that will be around once we get to the end of the month. The next charity event will be in March, for anyone who's interested and knows. We're fundraising with the WWF again all this year because they're wonderful and always super lovely when I work with them, and they do an important job. So super keen on that. Always excited to work with them. Yeah, just generally hoping things are turning a corner a bit. We're off to a bit of a shaky start this year, but it happens, you know. Sometimes life has some plans for you that you didn't quite anticipate. But I'm hoping that the rest of this year is generally more positive. Also looking forward to having some enforced relaxation time with WoW, because that game has got its hooks in me pretty badly at the moment, but also it forces me to relax. It forces me not to do anything alongside it because it takes all of my attention, and it's definitely a time sink. Yeah, I sat down to play at about 7:30 last night, and I basically didn't move or get up or do anything else until 2 a.m. And you know what? I needed it. I needed to focus on something not work related, not content related, just for me for a bit. And it felt great. It felt fantastic. So I'm hoping I can keep this up because I think it's good for me. Normally, I would be like, no, I need to get up and take proper breaks and all this sort of thing. But I found that when I do that, I end up working anyway. Like I will do housework or whatever, which is not good when you're trying to relax because then you get into a routine of constantly working, even when you're trying to take breaks from a screen. And sometimes you need to force yourself to stop. Just take a breather. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. The saga of trying to balance my time continues, but I'm getting better at it all the time. you've been chronically busy for the better part of 10 years, it's going to take more than a week or two to break some habits. So I'm trying to be patient with myself with this as well, and just remember that, rest is still part of the process for anything. Yeah, I'm enjoying a few weeks off, basically, before I give myself more work to do. Because I'm planning to take on... I don't sure if I've mentioned this on stream already or not. I'm taking on a new digital marketing course soon from Google. As in the company Google, not just Google search. It's exciting because it'll help me with stream and help me understand something that I know nothing about, which is always cool. But that's going to be another, diploma. Excuse me, diploma level of time commitment, which is fine. I'm doing this by choice. No one's holding a gun to my head saying, "Do all this work." Apart from maybe kind of my boss, but that's a different matter. Metaphorical gun, by the way. I'm not working under threat of violence. For legal reasons. That was a joke. But, yeah, no one's, forcing me to do all this. But at the same time, if you're... Well, for me personally, if I'm aware in a gap in my skill set that needs to be filled for me to progress, I almost compulsively have to find something to help me attain those skills. That, for example, with streaming, one of my major knowledge gaps is how to market myself in a way that doesn't put people off. Because, I don't want this all to be about advertising, but at the same time, I do want to grow the stream. I want to bring more people in. I want to make it work, so to speak. But I don't know anything about digital marketing. And I've got other projects on the go as well that I would definitely have a more business-like approach to than this. So, learning what to do with those, learning how to make them work. Would be good. So that's the plan. Learning how to make those work. And it's, for those who are interested, it's stuff like, marketing and growing mailing lists and how search optimization works and all this kind of thing. So, maybe not interesting to everyone, but it's something I don't know about, so it's interesting to me. That'll be some time. That'll be like a 6 to 8 month commitment. When I get that, but Google certificate to say, yes, this person knows about marketing. Certified by Google. There's the certificate. Someone across the Stormblood. Ogryn. Oh, nice. There's been a couple of bigger streamers coming to Final Fantasy recently. Which has been interesting to see. It's been really nice to see people enjoying it. And just like the genuine, unfiltered joy of, oh my god, this game is amazing, coming from them. I'm glad that you're also enjoying it still, Indy. I did consider picking up Final Fantasy again instead of WoW, but honestly, World of Warcraft will always be my first choice when it comes to MMOs. And a lot of that is nostalgia. So when I get to a point where I can afford the time for more than one, I'll definitely pick up Final Fantasy again. It's not forgotten. It's just, it's there when I want it. But right now, not yet got the space for it. But yeah, if you're interested in watching someone who's relatively new to Final Fantasy go through it, Edgar Allan Bro. He's normally a DVD streamer, but he's playing Final Fantasy at the moment and absolutely loving it from what I can tell. Yeah. I just want to make it clear, it's not that I dislike Final Fantasy XIV at all. And I think if I had picked up Final Fantasy first, I would absolutely be playing that more. But for me, WoW has got that first spot. So it's the one that I turn to first. And then I get the MMO itch. Now, it's not a perfect game by any stretch. I'm gonna be the first one to admit that, but it's like a comfy pair of shoes that have been broken into in just the right places. least for me. I fall into those old patterns so quickly with it. It's a comfy routine. And sometimes that's just good for the brain. Miss you and hands up. Don't worry, I'll be back. I promise. I have not forgotten. She's just on the back burner for the time being. I think the other thing that it's kind of a twofold thing with WoW for me. It's the nostalgia, but it's also the fact that they've finally made gameplay changes that I have wanted as someone who loves playing WoW. They've made the gameplay changes that I have wanted to see for literally years. And I struggle to justify staying away when, I was dying to try those changes out for myself. I don't know, Blizzard is still the devil. Sorry, that's unfair to the devil. Blizzard is still evil. I do not support Blizzard, I don't condone them. But it's hard to deny something that brings you joy when life is tricky enough as it is. So that's where I'm at with it at the moment. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot for my principles, but sometimes you gotta be a bit selfish. And me on my own, I'm not gonna change anything. Not with that whole Blizzard situation, anyway. Training sometime. You can if you want, Indy. I probably play at very difficult times for you to join. I play on EU times. So please don't feel like you have to. Honestly, I'm kind of enjoying just jamming out quests on my own. Like it's a very it's not lonely because I'm running into new gaming people, but it's nice to kind of just sit there and just do chill and it'll be things like I just sat there probably for about an hour last night fishing in WoW. And that sounds dull but it was just nice and peaceful. I found a pretty spot in the new zone that I liked. Just watched the stuff go by as I was fishing. It was really nice. Hey Holly, welcome in. Have you started the fishing dailies? Not yet. I haven't managed to find them yet. I think I'm just like a tiny bit before where I start picking up all of the bulk of the dailies and all the world quests and things like that. Tusker bound? I've not fully explored that area yet. I did kind of skip through a lot of the Tusker stuff at the moment. But I have every intention of going back. But I'm just really, really keen to get through the main story at the moment. So, Rue. Hey, welcome in, Rue. It's good to see you. How's it going? It must be late for you. Thank you. Shishi? Great, welcome in. Thank you for bringing your flock over. I really appreciate it. I hope League of Legends is going well for you. The delay. I still appreciate you coming by. It's always good to see you. How was the game? Go to bed. It's going well. Yeah. Make sure you get rest and stuff for yourself though. Aw. It's good to see you, Rue. You're always welcome. You and your community are always welcome here anytime. I really appreciate the raid. I'm pretty sure everyone here is already following you. But if they're not, please go give her a follow. He's one of the kindest, most welcoming individuals I've had the chance to meet ever on or off this platform. One of my favourite people that I have met through doing Twitch. Cannot recommend him or his community enough. 12-hour stream. Also does crazy long streams. Kind, favourite. I would never lie, Rue. You're a mod for a reason. I said one of Howley. You're also one of my favorites. It's really good to see you, Rue. I hope you've been keeping well. I hope the move went well as well. I saw you mention it on Twitter not too long ago. Aww. Work thing? Boo. Sorry, Thas. No worries. Take it easy. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. And I will see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow? Well, happy level up day for tomorrow, Hallie. I hope you have a fantastic day. Please tell me you have some time off. Please tell me they are not making you work on level up day. I figured. I figured. Please tell me you at least have tomorrow off. We do have to play that tide again together. I've been kind of suckered back into the WoW thing because dragons, and they've made a bunch of changes that mean you don't have to raid to do everything. So I was all over that. But I will definitely be back on Darktide in the future once WoW has stopped consuming my life for a little bit. Your boss quit? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised your boss quit. But hopefully that means you get a boss who actually lets you take annual leave. Because, yeah, you have more than earned some time off. Funnily enough, we had a similar discussion. So what we were talking about last week with time off, there was a similar discussion going on in another stream that I was in. And people were like, oh yeah, I've got a friend who's got like 100 hours of annual leave. And everyone's like, oh my god, that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be allowed. And I just sat there like, oh. Oh. I was just thinking of you like, oh, if there was something I could do, I would do it. I hope that means that your bus quitting. I hope that means you're in a better situation, because at the very least, everyone should not have to work on their birthday. I feel like working on your birthday should be illegal. But in my house, well, in my group, birthdays are kind of special. Though when you make a big fuss about the other person. The only time I don't do that is if I know the person doesn't enjoy making a fuss or having a fuss made of them. But it's still like the day when, you know, they get whatever they want. Okay. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, Holly. Sorry, I got a little bit hyper-focused there because my brain can't focus on more than one thing at once, apparently, at the moment. Which is fine, I guess. Who needs to be entertaining on a stream anyway? Not me, apparently. But yeah, for everyone who just came over from Restream, hi, welcome in. My name is Jinxie. I'm a variety streamer. I like to do chill, cozy, comfy streams like this. I paint minis. I do, like chill games like Stardew Valley. I also play stuff like Subnautica and Darktide. You can see I'm a Darktide partner as well, because they're wonderful people over at Fat Shark. Yeah, welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. We love lurkers here, so if you want to just lurk, you're more than welcome to. I promise I will never call you out, but we appreciate you. I have to remember with raids and things, I need to give time for ads to play. Because pre-roll ads are the devil. And again, that's unfair to the devil. But they're evil. And I wish I could get rid of them without having to make more than 10% of my content ad-based. Twitch. Looking at you. And your ridiculous system. Please fix it. I don't think anyone would mind Twitch ads half as much if they actually paid decently well for them as well. But the amount they expect you to run for pennies. Not even a whole dollar, just pennies. So dumb. Anyway. I just got the very aptly named mortar and ground all over my hand. That's something I'll have to look into fixing later on once it's dried. Because I've still not learnt my lesson about letting contrast paints dry fully before picking things up. Here I'm kind of just redefining some of the areas on the boot. There's some parts where I've overspilled and things like that. Just tidying up. Right in the back. Now, I don't quite know what's happened with this ankle joint, but there's a big old chunk of it hanging out. So just kind of run my brush on that to get that kind of looking a bit more like part of the model. And a lot of what I'm doing here is just kind of redefining where the different textures are and just polishing up those boundaries between the different parts. Which sounds very sort of vague and over the top. It's basically just tidying up where the paint spilled over. So where the paint for the metal is spilled onto fabric, for example. Or where the primer hasn't quite covered all the detail that it needed to cover. It's a little bit of a... can be a little bit of a tedious process, but it's honestly not the worst. And it makes a big difference to the finished product. That's a little bit here, I think. It's a bit better. Those boots actually look a bit more like complete parts, I guess you would call it. Next up, I think we're going back to some metallics. I'm going to get this, what do we call it? Oversized belt buckle. To be polite. This plate here. You get a little bit of weathering done on it. Again, this isn't final. There will be more detailing and stuff added to it. That will probably be next stream. This is just the initial stages. Kinda getting some of it done. I'm just kind of trying to make this look a bit beaten up. Because they may be with an Inquisitional warband, but they're still basically guard. Which means no one gets anything factory new, right? Nice and chipped and beaten up. But not the Aquila. The Aquila stays bright and shiny. Because that is a symbol of the Emperor. And probably heresy to defile it or some such nonsense. I don't know. Heretics in my name. I only know the other side. I don't know what it's like to be loyal to the Emperor. You'd have to ask a guardsman or something about that one. Again, I'm doing the same sort of technique on this guy. This plate here, just going along the sharp edges, and then just using the side of my brush more than anything. Gotta scuff it up a bit. Kind of focusing in on the corners, because that's where you'll see a lot of wear and tear and a lot of these sorts of plates. And also because that's how it, you can aesthetically pleasingly weather something. And not putting a lot of paint on the brush at one time. It avoids making it just look like stripes. Pre-modelled chips and scrapes as well. Right. Maybe a little bit heavier in that corner. There we have it. Some nice weathered armor patches. I'm just going to add a little bit on this chest plate here while I've got the paint on brush kind of thing. Again, I will go over this properly and in a lot more detail and depth closer to the final stream. German quiet? Yeah, it's just a chill one today, Hallie. Just keeping it nice and quiet. That's all good. I don't mind a quiet one. Alrighty, just a little bit of weathering down here. Are you up to anything exciting at the moment, Hallie? Yeah, anything planned for your birthday? Family dinner? That sounds nice. Yes, I have caught up with the animated series. I am fully caught up with Legend of Vox Machina. I think I'm only one behind on the actual campaign, on campaign 3. Very good, right? After watching that, just after reading Kith and Kin, it's just like this one. I love what they've done with this series of just sort of doing little snippets of who these people are and why you should care about them. And it just so good. So good. Give me more. No, I think the Sunken Tomb was one of those like absolute gut punch moments for me. I know that's not this week's stuff, that was last week's, but I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it because the bond Vex and Vax have, you know, siblings or not, you only really get that bond once, maybe twice, like not even a handful of times in your life. And losing someone like that, you only realize how devastating it is if you've actually been through it. Like, it is so rare to find someone that is always in your corner. And having been through a loss like that not too long ago, like, long enough ago that it's not affecting my everyday, but a short enough time ago that it's still hard to talk about. And then seeing it played out so well by Liam specifically, and just his voice, and it just got me. Like, it genuinely felt like a physical blow to the stomach when I was watching it. There were some really good moments in this one, as well. I loved Trippy Trinket. Absolutely loved Trippy Trinket. And the last shot of the last episode. Was it the last episode or was it the one before the end? The song for Grog. Oh. Grog's whole arc at the moment. I love Grog's arc at the moment. Like, Grog and Pike are just my favourite of Vox Machina. I love that big guy. As you can probably guess, I have a soft spot for big guys. They look kind of scary, but really aren't that scary. So... big love for Grog. Big lug. Love, even. He's a big lug, but big love is what I meant to say. There was another bit that I was going to mention, and it's gone. Yeah, Artagan. I was so happy when I saw that. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm not going to explain it to you. But yeah, Grog and Pike continuing to prove that, you know, sometimes the best thing is just being good to yourself, but also sticking by your buddies. And Pike and Scanlan just being adorable. And the casual version of the Otter minion. Oh, who doesn't love otters? Someone I work with said they didn't like pandas the other day. I felt personally offended. How can you not love pandas? They're amazing. apparently the fact that, they're not useful in nature, which is factually wrong, by the way, but that's beside the point. Apparently their lack of obvious use in nature makes them angry. They're actually very useful for stopping the bamboo from outcompeting other plants and taking over the areas that they live in. Actually kind of essential, because bamboo can be a pest, a literal, problem if it's not kept in check by animals like pandas. Straw hat with glasses, red tartan shirt, and rainy fishing rod. Oh. Red, orange, white. Oh, that's even better. Such a cutie. We love pets. Best thing about MMOs. In-game pets. Worst thing about MMOs. In-game pets that can die. Still not okay with that. There was a quest I did in WoW yesterday that was literally go get treats for this dog, then pet it and feed it treats. And I was just sat there like, this is the best quest ever. This is the kind of fetch and carry quest that I love. Gonna go watch Crit Roll? That is a good plan, Hurley. Take it easy. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you have a good one too. Thank you for stopping in. And hopefully we'll catch up soon. Sorry I keep pausing today, folks. I'm just having a little bit of hand pain trouble, so I'm trying to not push it too much, but I might have to call it a little bit earlier than I normally do. We'll see how it goes. I'm okay for now, so I'm gonna keep going until I'm not okay to keep going, basically. But we're making good progress. just repainting all of the dark brown leather, like piping, I guess. I'm not quite sure what you would call this. The dark brown, is it trim or pipework, or what would you call it? Borders on this set of bags and pouches. I'm gonna do that. We got some nice fancy pouches. Because canon-wise, all of these guys are what's known as Ogryn boneheads, which means they're actually kind of like sergeant level smart. In D&D terms, they're like intelligence 4 instead of intelligence 3. So that means they'll get slightly less scuffed things than the average Ogryn would. And in this guy's case, it means he gets slightly less damaged pouches. Because battle-worn leather is a pain in the backside to paint. So I'm using canon justification for giving him shiny pouches. At least for now. I need to look up a tutorial on a good battle-worn leather technique that I can use. So that'll be next week's problem. For now, we're back on shoes. I'm just doing some of the clasps and things like that. I might give him some slightly fancier shoelaces. You know, instead of plain old black, maybe he's gonna get some green laces. Just again, it's partly a color palette thing. I want these to have color without it being silly. I don't want this to just be completely dull thing. Just one block of black grey. Finding the right colours to add in is a challenge in its own right. Maybe brown? Would brown work well there? I think a dark khaki kind of colour. Let's go with that. I might paint over them if I don't like them, but for now he's getting some green laces. And his feet broke the original ones. You know what they say about tall guys? They got big feet. This boy is a tall boy. You know what they say about big feet? Really big shoes. Maybe get himself some fancy green laces. Going in for a little bit of game-inspired, unofficial decoration. That in the game, a lot of the basic stuff has like patches on it where it's been repaired. Obviously, that's not modelled on the model, but I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of a nod to it by painting in a stripe on the pockets. Again, it's more of an aesthetic choice than an accuracy choice. It's to kind of break up the ocean of varying shades of black and grey that this model has. And it just makes it more interesting to look at. So I'm not... Yeah, the idea is to stop your eye getting bored, right? Because once your eye gets bored, that's it. You kind of lost the game when it comes to painting these things. So, a little stripe of colour there. Should hopefully help with that. And the trousers. I'm just gonna brush up where that was added because there's a little bit of overspill on that one. Another bit that I wanted to work out was this one, the back. I think I'm going to go back with some silver here. I know there's a lot of silver, but I feel like that makes the most sense for the buckles here. Blame my my years of loving New Rock boots. See, I feel like these would actually be... So these cross straps, I think, would actually be a really dark brown leather, because they're actually for the plates. They're kind of strapped on over the boot. So, for that to make sense, I need to pick up a different part of paint. So, and if this doesn't look right, I can paint over this, but I think this will work And again, a lot of this is just trying to make these shapes make sense in the context of the model. And trying to avoid big unbroken stretches of the same color. Unless it's intentional, like on the chest plate, for example. And that, you kind of want it big and unbroken because you want to give that. You want to lean into, this guy is big and he's tall and he's strong. Look at how big and shiny his chest plate is. I don't know. I'm kind of talking nonsense, but at the same time, I hope it makes sense. I'm aware that not everyone kind of approaches the painting process as a storytelling exercise, but it's how I kind of decide how to paint things. I mean, it's a good way to kind of contextualize what you're looking at. Yeah, why is that painted brown? Well, because it's attached to his armor. And his armor is attached with other straps, as you can see up here and here. It makes a lot more sense than because I felt like painting it brown. Which is equally justified, but I want to sound like I know what I'm doing, even if I don't. So just finishing off these straps here. And I'll be finishing off all the details next stream probably. Because I'm probably going to have to finish up with this one quite soon. But I want to make sure I at least get this little section done, and I want to go back over the belt before I finish. So we still have a little ways to go. Because next week I'll also be working on a lot of the upper body. So this is, I wouldn't say it's my last pass over it, but it's sort of my first and last pass in a way. I'll definitely come back to work on some of the sections, but the bulk of the work on this half of the body is getting done today. Which means I kind of want to get it right. So I'm just going back over the belt, and it's just to tidy up. So it's just making sure that the colour's not patchy and any overspills from other parts is tidied up. So it's a little bit of an awkward thing to show on camera. I hope it's coming through okay. I'm trying to avoid getting too much paint inside the little gaps, I guess you call them. These little round circular bits in the belt. I don't know what the proper term is for them. I'm sure they've got a name. I'm trying to work around putting too much paint down there so I don't have to go back through all of those and repaint them in. Well, if I have to, but I'd rather not. Just tidying up any patchiness around here. At the top of the belt too, because you're going to see that. You can actually see, if you look from the angle that we're currently looking at, you can actually see the belt behind this buckle plate bit. So I'm just trying to get those little bits in there too, because you can't really remove this without damaging the model. I'm trying to work around it somewhat. So we're going in, and I think we might have got it all. Got all the green at least. Sorry, that was actually probably kind of loud on microphone. Sorry, folks. Oh, that's actually an Aquila. Okay. In that case, we crack out the gold again. So he's actually got an Aquila belt buckle behind this armor plate, which you can only see from a particular angle, which is both sneaky and kind of brilliant. I'm going in there with just a little bit of gold. I'm getting the actual Aquila in gold, and then I'm gonna get that sort of chunk that they've glued onto it. I'm gonna paint that in kind of a dirty silver colour to make it look like just raw solder. I heard you like Aquilas, so here's an Aquila for your Aquila. Or something like that. Yeah. There we go. I can totally believe that they would just solder bigger Aquilas over small Aquilas. Again, kind of going over the chunk there a little bit. And also a bit of top weathering, because I kind of neglected that section when I was going over it the first time. Okay, and then because I've still got this on my brush, just some quick battle damage type stuff on the chest plate, so that I'm not wasting paint. And this is just Iron Hand Steel. Going over a Corvus black background that's been washed over with Black Templar. There we go. Quick and easy weathering. A nice shiny belt, which was the whole point of that, that little endeavour. I think while we're here, just to give myself a bit of leeway with next week, and so that I can take nicer pictures for thumbnails and things like that, I'm going to give a quick once over on the skin, and then I might call it today. Hydrate. Thank you, Mango. I hope everyone's got a tasty beverage to enjoy today. Salt and pepper squid. That sounds good. I haven't had seafood like that in a long time. Seafood around here is not great because we're, kind of landlocked and we don't really have any fishmongers or anything like that where you can get the good quality stuff from. But I do enjoy it when it's well done. So, just kind of tidying up where there's been some paint transfer from my painting mat and a couple of scratches from just trying to keep this out of the way when I'm working. So I'm just tidying up those. I'll be honest, mainly for thumbnails. So I can take some nice pretty thumbnails. Nice photos. There'll be more work done on this, on the skin, the tattoos, highlights, things like that next week. When my hands are a little bit more cooperative and able to do the finer details a bit better. Again, a lot of this is just basically doing a good solid base layer for the details to sit on. Alright. Again, up here with the face. I hope you can actually see the difference on screen. It's quite noticeable in person, but I've realised that a lot of the slightly more subtle things that I do can get lost in translation. So it can just look like I'm not really painting anything on there. hands. The main thing that I noticed needed repainting. Just as a final step, I'm trying to get the inside of his hands done. So that's not necessarily something you look for. It's one of those parts that you notice it when it's not done. So I'm more painting it to blend it in. Side of his hand, back of thumb, all these kind of areas that you wouldn't notice unless they're not done. And then you notice them a lot. You do if you're me, because these have been bugging me all week. I spotted them Monday. I was like, oh, I missed the hands. And it's been bugging me all week. Chest here. Again, there'll be some bits that I've not properly done, but I think that looks a bit better. Looks a bit less patchy. And hopefully it looks good on the screen too. You're just determined to not have that knuckle properly painted, aren't you? Why is paint not sticking? There we go. So, we made some good progress today again. I'm really, really happy with how this is coming out. Which is awesome. I wanted to do a good job. So, what we did this week? I'm going to try and do this more often, but we got a nice... See it properly. We got a armor plate, shoes. When I glanced over my mobile, it looked like you're painting the TF2 heavy. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Yeah, fancy shoes. I will probably come back to the boots. I'm not 100% happy with them. But I'm not quite sure how to proceed with them just yet. So the boots are probably going to get some updates on them. We got a lovely leather bags. Shiny belt. Nice patch, thank you. He's got 3. I am extremely happy with how the weathering came out on the armor plates. this time around. That is a lot closer to what I had in mind. Just the kind of like scuffed like scratched up, but still kind of mostly black. Finally nailed that. No, we just did a little bit of refreshing over up here. We did a little bit of work on the chest plate. Again, getting that scratch scuffed up look. Just a little bit of a refresh on the face and arms. And yeah. That feels like a thumbnail, right? But yeah. Obviously, there's still some tidying up to do. And next week, he's going to get his face done, his tattoos done, and all the highlights done. So, yeah. Feel like I should finish off that little bit of gesturing. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today. I know it's kind of a short stream again, but you can blame my day job for that, unfortunately. Next week will probably be a chill week, so I might not stream as frequently, but we'll definitely be streaming next week. I'm not sure when exactly the YouTube streams are going to resume. I might not. I might just finish off Wolf Among Us and then not stream anymore on YouTube for the time being until I can reconfigure my time a bit more. Because doing 4 to 5 streams a week plus 40 hours at a day job plus everything else in life is very tricky to balance. I'll be honest. But I do fully intend to finish The Wolf Among Us at the very minimum. And I will continue to try and do shorts and things like that as well. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. I don't know if anyone. I'm not going to rate anyone this time. I'm just going to leave it there. But there's plenty of lovely streams on at the moment. Geef is playing some super chill stuff. If you want a similar vibe, fully recommend Geef. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today. Huge thank you again for the raid. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful, relaxed day or night wherever you are in the world. And well, my guy, and you too. Have some wonderful stress-free time, as Mango says. Take care of yourselves.